I'm Lauren. I am a soccer and lacrosse player at Simmons, and I'm also a first year. And this is Charlotte, who is one of my teammates from the soccer team, who is also a first year sophomore student. So, first, we were hoping that we could just get a little bit more of a background on you. How long have you been playing soccer, and what got you into the sport to begin with?
I'm from New England, basically spent my whole life in and around Boston. I grew up in North Andover. I don't know where you guys are from, but it's about 30 minutes north of Boston. Absolute diehard Boston sports fan, which is pretty fun out here in San Diego, to be honest. I played soccer my whole career. I played basketball. I played anything that had the word sport in it. Like I was picking it up and doing it when I was little, and then transferred it into high school and then a little bit into college. I did play soccer in college for 2 years at Simmons. I played basketball for a very short stint. I realized that I wasn't going to be a 5'4" athlete and wasn't always the best one on the field. So I knew getting into sport from a different angle was probably my best bet and something I was always interested in. I knew I wanted sport in general and I wanted it to be part of my life in some capacity. So I was like, how do I make this happen?
Awesome. So, kind of going back to kind of expanding on what attracted you to Simmons, why did you kind of want to be a student athlete? And I know that you said you were only on the soccer team for 2 years, but what kind of made you want to stay involved in athletics even beyond on the field?
I originally went to Simmons for physical therapy, which is like a total 180 from where I'm at. I had in my head through high school for some reason that a way into sport was like just through athletic training. Like for some reason, I don't know where it came from. I was like, I can get into sport through athletic training. So it felt really natural. So I was like, I'm going to go to Simmons for PT. So I got into the Simmons PT program. It was one of my top choices because of its reputation from PT, the medical field, nursing. And honestly, I was just super excited to have an opportunity to go to school in downtown Boston. So originally I was like, school, wasn't totally thinking about playing, just that's where I wanted my career to go. I was so narrow minded in it. And then an opportunity came about. I got a call being like, hey, do you want to join the soccer team? And I was like, or think about joining the soccer team, I should say. It wasn't really a shoo-in. And I was like, yeah, of course. Like I love playing. I love sport. I also thought it was a really good opportunity for me to go to school a couple weeks early, get a group of people around me that had similar interests, find that group of friends before you even start anything. So you get into the chaos of like finally being on your own. So I thought that was a massive benefit. So when I got invited into preseason, I was like, yes, absolutely. Let's do it. And it was probably the best thing that ever happened because I found the group of people. I was comfortable, started class, was in sport. So for me, just that integration like into college through sport and having your teammates and people around you that can help you was absolutely massive.
I think that's great. And I think Charlotte and I can both attest, especially this past preseason and this season, that that's what sports, especially at Simmons, is all about, finding those friendships. Would you mind just expanding on like one of your favorite memories, both on the field, off the field, or even in the classroom?
My favorite moment as an athlete in athletics was being around the team and all those off the field events that we did together. I'm a huge fan of culture and team culture and bodiness, and it's something I've carried into my job here in the NWSL and with the San Diego Wave. Those moments that we shared together as a team, the group outings, all the adventures that we had together and as a group, like those are the things that I sit here and that was the first thing that came to my head. I was like, that's what I remember. It wasn't necessarily like the wins we had and the losses we had. It was the culture, the team bonding, and then the people I met and the relationships that I still have. So for me, just from athletics and from non-athletics, like those are my favorite moments.
Our coach tells us all the time that you earn and get transferable skills from playing and being involved in athletics. And I think that's something that we all kind of know, but it's hard to speak on, I guess, when you're kind of looking to the future with that and you haven't really experienced what those transferable skills are. So could you speak on what transferable skills you use in every day, if there is any, that you kind of took from being a student athlete, and then also how being a student athlete and that basis of athletics has helped you since graduating?
I think the biggest one that comes to mind is time management, prioritizing and execution, and relationship building would probably be my three. I think when you get into a role, especially in sport, especially if you go the operational route, and I'm sure it's with I'm big in operations as in my role, but the to-do list is never ending. Like you just feel like every day it's like you turn the page. And I'm sure you guys can all attest to that, even as students. You just feel like every day you're like, okay, there's something else. And it just keeps growing. So I think as a student athlete, it was so important for you to manage your time between, like I said, like it is possible to work, have an internship, play a sport, go to class, and then also have a life. I do think it's possible, but it's how you manage your time. What are you prioritizing? How are you executing it? What's the support system around you? I think that's just absolutely a huge skill that transfers over from being a student athlete into any business, never mind the sport industry. Also, just when you're a student athlete, you're around so many different personalities, so many different people. You're part of a team, part of a group, and being able to get along well with others. I know it's pretty basic, but get along well with others, work with each other as teammates. You learn how to deal and manage people, and everyone wants to work in different ways. Like some people love emails, some people love phone calls, some people love texts, meetings. And for us, it's developing those relationships, just like you are as a teammate. Like you have to develop those relationships with your teammates, how to best work and play with them. It's the same in business in the sport industry. Are you building those relationships? Are you getting that trust that you need as a cohesive unit that will allow you to work better together, work more efficiently, have an enjoyable workplace, and most importantly, just develop relationships. So for me, I'd say those are my top hitters that I've realized from student athlete days that have kind of taken me through to where I am now.